The night was quiet, too quiet for a city that never really slept. Somewhere in the distance, faint sirens wailed, blending into the hum of traffic. But then came the radio call that made two officers freeze in their patrol car. A witness had reported a suspicious truck parked near an abandoned industrial zone. The caller had seen shadows moving inside, muffled cries, and then silence. Police knew this was not a random sighting, it had the weight of something dark, something urgent. Within minutes, a police unit was on the scene. Two officers stepped out, flashlights in hand, their dogs straining at the leash. The German shepherds, highly trained canines, were restless, pacing back and forth, their noses twitching as they caught an unusual scent. Something was definitely wrong. And then, with a creak, the heavy truck door began to slide open. What they saw inside made their hearts stop. Before we dive deeper into this emotional story, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the loyalty of animals, please take a moment to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales. Your support helps us bring more heart-touching stories like this to life. And don't forget to comment below with your thoughts, we love reading them. Inside the truck, sitting in a tight huddle, were four terrified children. Their small faces were pale, their eyes wide with fear, and they looked like they hadn't seen light in days. Their clothes were dusty, some torn, their hands trembling. For a moment, everything was still, the officers frozen in shock, the children too scared to move, the world itself holding its breath. But the dogs broke the silence. The K9s leapt forward, not in aggression but in instinctive urgency, their barks echoing like a cry for help. The children flinched at first, but then something unexpected happened. One of the little girls, tears streaking her cheeks, extended a trembling hand toward the dog closest to her. Instead of retreating, the dog pressed its nose against her palm, a gentle reassurance. That small moment cracked the wall of fear surrounding those children. The officers quickly rushed forward, their training kicking in, but even they were shaken. They had expected stolen goods, maybe smuggling. They had not expected this, a group of innocent lives hidden away, waiting for someone to save them. The children were helped down from the truck, one by one, their legs weak, their steps unsteady. The youngest boy clutched the fur of one police dog like it was the only safe thing left in his world. The officers could see it, these kids had been through something no child ever should. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear these children had been taken from different neighborhoods. No one knew exactly how long they had been trapped inside that truck, but the fear in their eyes told a story of long, endless hours filled with hopelessness. And now, standing under the open sky, they didn't know what would come next. One officer, hardened by years on the job, found his throat tightening. He had seen crime before, but never the raw innocence of children scarred this way. His K9 partner, Rex, seemed to sense it too. The dog stayed close to the children, refusing to leave their side. When the little boy began to cry uncontrollably, Rex nuzzled his face, staying still until the boy's sobs softened. The bond was immediate, unexplainable, but undeniable. The police station became a temporary refuge, and though the children were safe now, their trauma lingered. Nights were the hardest. When the world quieted, memories came flooding back. But strangely, it was the dogs who offered the most comfort. They sat guard by the children's beds, alert but calm, their presence a silent promise. You are not alone anymore. Days turned into weeks as authorities worked to track down families and bring the culprits to justice. But amidst the chaos, a transformation was happening. The children, once fragile and withdrawn, began to smile again, hesitant at first, but real. They laughed softly when the dogs played, they whispered secrets into furry ears, and they started to believe in safety again. One child, the boy who had clung to Rex, grew especially close to the dog. He had been the most silent, the most broken, barely speaking even to the officers. But with Rex, he spoke. He told him things he couldn't tell anyone else, the fear he had felt in the darkness, the dreams of his mother's voice calling him home, the terror that maybe he would never be found. And Rex listened, eyes gentle, never moving away. The officers noticed this change and let it happen. They knew sometimes healing doesn't come from words or therapy, it comes from a connection, a bond so pure it bypasses pain. Finally, after long investigations, families were reunited with their children. The emotional scenes were overwhelming, mothers crying as they hugged their lost children, fathers breaking down as relief washed over them. The police were hailed as heroes, but everyone knew it wasn't just them. It was also the dogs. The children had been rescued not only physically, but emotionally. The K9s had restored their trust, their ability to feel safe, their fragile hope in humanity. And though each child went back home, a piece of their heart remained tied to those loyal protectors who had pulled them back from despair. The boy who had bonded with Rex had the hardest time saying goodbye. He hugged the dog tightly, burying his face in his fur, whispering words no one else could hear. Rex licked his cheek as if to promise that no matter what, that moment would never be lost. The officers watched with heavy hearts, understanding the depth of what had been built between a child and a dog who had saved his spirit. Months later, a letter arrived at the police station. It was from the boy's family. They wrote about how their son had changed, how he was slowly returning to life, laughing more, sleeping peacefully, and even talking about wanting to become a police officer one day. At the end of the letter, in shaky handwriting, the boy himself had written, "Tell Rex thank you. He gave me back my courage. Sometimes, heroes don't wear badges. Sometimes, they wear fur and walk on 4 legs. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who believes in the power of loyalty and kindness, and don't forget to subscribe to Pawsitive Tales. These stories are meant to remind us of the beauty in the bond between humans and animals, and your support keeps them alive. Special request for you. Comment below. Dogs are true heroes, if you believe animals carry a love and loyalty deeper than words.